met Carrie Mae at your house, Tony.
Yes.
Over dinner, and at least in person. That was our first in-person meeting. Had a wonderful time, and then scheduled another time to meet with her, but we wanted to go to Walnut Ridge, see the town, meet her in her natural habitat, if you will. And then also have a chance to deliver the script to her and read it through her the first time. So we planned that for a couple of months later in early August. And what were you both hoping for that weekend when we made the trip there? You guys drove up to Nashville. I drove down from Nebraska. And yeah, we just spent a couple days there.
Here's my baby, like my baby.
Like my baby, please, like. Yeah, there's a
please like my baby. Oh gosh, it felt it honestly.
Songs. She'd heard.
Well, she songs so hard, you know. It's like it's that thing of like when you listen to a cast recording from a Broadway show, if you don't know the story, you hear these songs and you go, how in the world, some of them anyway, you go, how in the world is that to the script? How does that story along, or what is its purpose in all of this? And I know she had probably heard some songs along the way and gone, what in the world is this about? You know? And I think there's that thing of going, when you finally see the show or you read a script and you get a feel for a placement of a song and why it's there, I think, you know, but still just that feeling of like, you know, the three of us have met with publishers for all these years and you play them songs and it's that please like my baby that, you know, you've been slaving over this thing for a long time, working really hard to get it to a certain point, and you're showing it to somebody and just really, really hoping that they're going to like it.
Well, and just to continue the relationship was really a piece of the agenda. We had Zoomed with her before. Okay, instantly first Zoom, we liked her. Your creativity, she's funny, so like,
Yeah.
I mean, just that thing at
Kindred spirit.
Yes, that at a feel level, I think we all exhaled mightily after that first one. Went, okay, so this is possible. And then we had such a great night at my house that night, and even you know, playing three songs and okay, that went so well. This is going to be the extended amount of time, a lot, most of a Friday and part of a Saturday too. Oh, please let it continue to go well. Not anxiety, but just that little bit of nervousness. You want it to go well. We think she likes us telling this story, but let's let it continue. And the offering of the whole thing. Okay, this is where we are. We know it's a work in progress. So, you know, don't freak out about anything that is on any page. Anything is changeable or fixable, but
yeah.
that.
And it was a very early draft, really. I mean,
yeah,
because we've made a lot of.
We have changed a lot since then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of rewrites.
So we get into town and we're staying at the Hotel Ray in Walnut Ridge.
Great place.
Beautiful place.
And you walk in, there's envelopes with our names on them. I mean, it was very sweet. So yeah, so we get there and it was a great place to stay. And then we head straight to her house because she was going to make us dinner that night. So, which was so kind of her. And that really was just, I think before dinner, did Charles and Jackie come over?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So her brother Charles, the mayor of Walnut Ridge, and his wife Jackie, and Tammy was there, and we just sat around and talked for a little while.
Yeah.
Charles filled us in on a lot of things.
He's a source of a lot of good information.
Yeah, that was really fun.
And it's funny too, because so many, I mean, there are characters, moments, relationships along the way that we had batted back and forth, and some things we made some guesses on, like, okay, would this character interact with the character this way? And I feel like at my house and so much more so that weekend, there were hundreds of times mid-conversation where Carrie Mae or somebody would say something, and we'd look at one another like, "Oh, we got that right. Oh, I have to change that." Just those little knowing looks,
Yeah.
us about, "Oh, okay, we guessed right," and it was full of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Super fun. And then they didn't stay for dinner, did they?
No,
Yeah,
they
it was,
did not.
it was just us for dinner. So we did dinner that night. And then we just decided, no, did we go drive around that day?
We did.
Yeah.
We
We
went to the airport that afternoon and rode around and looked at a lot of
saw the
places.
polar freeze, where the polar freeze was, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. We did all that. So that was, again, seeing those places that we had written about
Yeah.
and sung about, and just, yeah.
And took pictures. I mean, there's a picture of the three of us with Carrie Mae at the airport. And it was a little surreal because it's like, wait a minute, this is a place we've imagined for a better part of a year now, thinking about the incident of what occurred there. And then we're standing there with her telling us about what she saw there. And it just was, I don't know, it was deep.
Yeah. A
And
little surreal.
sweet too. Kind of like this is a crazy journey this is a crazy journey from us talking about, okay, what if we wrote about this? And
Yeah.
now here we are standing there with that person,
Mm-hmm.
having a great time and laughing our butts off at so many funny things along the way.
Yeah. She just continued to
Mm.
like we've said so many times, bring color to the story and just little comments. And so, yeah, it was great.
And to be so comfortable to hang with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then back to her house for dinner, which was amazing. We could talk about her food for an entire episode, but
That's a whole other bonus category for where we do the Carrie Mae cookie evaluation. What are
Yes.
you going with? Because
exactly.
I'm going with lemon ice all the way. That is
They were
a
pretty spectacular.
spectacular little bakery treat.
Yeah. So we go back to the hotel, which is really close to the railroad, which I slept like a baby. Y'all heard the trains all night, and I did not. I was like, I didn't hear one train. So I don't know what I was either on something that made me sleep really well, or I was so exhausted I did not hear one train.
Yeah, they were pretty noisy.
Which is
The
funny
charm
because
of a small town.
yeah, I had an apartment for about 6 months, 6 feet off of a train track, and I was like, oh, this won't bother me, but like, yeah,
Yeah, I did that in college. Yep.
I'm a half a mile from one now, so maybe I'm just used to it anyway, but I hear them all the time and don't notice them. So anyway, I slept really well. Okay, then the next morning we go over, and that's when we read through the script with her for the very first time.
Well, but we had also gone to some other places on that Friday night. She took us down to the Imagine store,
Yes.
that had been hers for a while, and places downtown that were parts of the Beatles at the
The
Ridge.
Beatles walk.
Yeah, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
So we really had taken in a lot today.
Yeah.
Before that, yeah, and then back to her house for breakfast on Saturday,
which was amazing again.
Yes.
And then, yeah, I think we just all sat around the table and kind of probably made some disclaimers before we started reading through. And as we usually do when we're reading through the script together, I was taking notes and running the computer, and y'all were reading all the parts. So, yeah.
and so we read the script and stopped and played the songs along the way. And I've got to just imagine for her, that is so much to digest coming at you. I mean, you're evaluating it through so many filters of, is this true? Is this a stretch in the story? Okay. Does this serve the story? And gosh, the goodness for us in it that she understood those tensions, being a theater.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The truth of real life versus the story that's on stage.
Versus based on a true story.
That.
And we had told her the device that we were using to even get to the story. We talked about that. I think her dad, Pate, even from that first read through, we've developed his character a lot more since then. And I feel a little bit like, had we read the story the way it is now on that first read through, it might have been a little tougher listen, but I feel like, over the course of our time working together and working with her and getting feedback from people, and as his character arc has changed,
He has evolved the most through drafts as we go.
yes. But having had those conversations with her, and again, like you said, she's a theater person, she understands the need to do that. I mean, all in all, it went as well as it could have, I guess.
And
Yeah.
to make changes with her blessing along the way of getting, oh yeah, this makes for a better story on stage, and the essential truth of the story is still there.
Yeah.
And so many of the events, even as we were talking earlier today, as some people have read through the script or listened to it, read, asking about certain events that we tell about in the show, like, did that really happen? Did that happen? And so for us to be able to go back and go, yeah, that actually happened. I mean, it's the reason we were
Drawn to the story in the beginning. Yeah.
Yes, it's the reason we wanted to tell it.
Yeah.
So, okay, so memories from that day or that trip, just having read through it, having seen the town, having had more interaction with her, and yeah, just overall thoughts on how that weekend went.
I think for me, being from a small southern town, we have our thing that we're known for. We have a famous author from my hometown, and that has made a mark on that town. And it was, I guess for me, it was interesting to see another small southern town that felt like my hometown, and they had their thing that had kind of marked them indelibly. And in a way, it just felt like going home, because it felt like where I grew up.
And the small town piece was real for all of us, and also the dream and the imagining. Could there ever be? I mean, as creatives, that's a reality for all of us. And then to meet her, to be at the place where even the imagined store, what colored so much of life for her, the festival of how just that day had marked her. It was like, golly, we loved all of that. Could relate to it.
Yeah.
I think it just fueled whatever was already inside us, that excitement. I think we left there going, yeah, this is a good thing to continue on. And we were excited about, certain changes and getting it to the next stage, which was the table read.
Yeah.
And to move to the next stage from a place of, oh, I want to do this. I want to make the changes. I want to do what we have to. No sense of, oh, we have to do this or any of that. It's like, no, this is getting better and better as it goes along. So we left with that. I mean, a full tank and just this enthusiasm to do it.
Yeah. I know this isn't the whole story, but there is such a big part of this story that is, you never know what a day might bring. You never know when those little bitty moments are going to come along that mark you forever. Life is beautiful and it's full of those moments, and you don't know when they're going to happen. And so to finally stand in the place where one of those moments happened and to see how it marked that town was just a really cool experience.
You never know what a day might bring. What a day might bring. Comes right out of a big dream coming true. You never know